You've been absolutely crushing it at the gym every day, yet when you go in to measure your muscles, you realize your muscles are not growing. Now, I've been in this situation before and I know how frustrating and depressing it gets to. So here are the 6 reasons why this is happening. You don't train your muscle groups enough. For your muscles to grow, frequency counts. You should aim to hit every muscle group at least 2 times and if possible 3 times every week. When comparing studies that investigated training muscle groups between 1 to 3 days per week on a volume equated basis, the evidence indicates that the frequency of training 2 times per week promotes superior hypertrophic outcomes compared to 1 time. This is because post-workout, your muscles go through a process called protein synthesis, which remains elevated for the next 36 to 48 hours. So if your lifting schedule consists of one body part 6 days a week, let's say you start with chest on a Monday, you won't hit your chest until the 7th day, which is 84 hours after, which means you cannot take any kind of an advantage of the protein synthesis that is already built up. So you're ideally starting from zero, and hence your muscles won't be growing at the level of frequency or the level of bulking that you expect. Another study found that participants who train each muscle group twice a week increase hypertrophy by 6.8% over 6 to 12 weeks compared to a 3.7% increase for those who train once a week. Your quality of training matters over quantity of training. So it's not about how much you lift, but how you lift. Over my 17 years at the gym, I have seen crazy amounts of things happen around, especially with one common thing being lifting more weight than what you can handle. This often leads to poor form of a lift, which is worse because it could lead to injuries which can keep you out of the gym potentially for weeks if you're lucky, to permanently if you damage something in there. The second one is only doing partial movements and not completing a full form of movement. This is especially bad because you're just wasting time at the gym. Sure, after some time you might see some amount of improvement in your muscles, but basically you're not going to get the right kind of bulking and the right kind of strength by doing any of those exercises. Something that I've done in the past is I've gone down to half of the amount of weights that I was lifting. No embarrassment there to drop your weight and lift something light, but do it with the correct amount of form and then build it back up. You'll be surprised at the amount of gains that you will get by dropping your weight to half as compared to pushing heavier weight with partial form. Have you ever seen the best trainer in your gym or somebody who is really buff or a bodybuilder workout? Look at the insane amount of focus that they have on their workouts. They won't be checking their phones as such. They won't be talking to too many people. They're very focused on completing their workout on time. The gym is a very weird place. You get from the gym what you input into it. Over the years, I have seen so many people, and I still see this constantly, wherein people will be checking their phones, scrolling through TikTok, taking forever to complete their sets, while at the same point of time also chatting with their buddies while holding up the machine. Now, I'm not saying that do not check your phone or don't talk to your buddy at the gym. You can do all of those things provided they're within the time frame of 45 seconds that you take for resting between the 2 sets, instead of wasting 5 to 10 minutes and then coming back into your lifts. This is particularly because resting for more than 30 to 60 seconds slows down your heart rate and stops your body from refueling and preparing for the next lift, but rather resets your body so you feel a lot more stiffy. It is like hitting the reset button again and again and expecting a different result. You are overdoing it at the gym or overworking your muscles. Now, working out for 7 days a week does not necessarily mean that you'll achieve a higher muscle growth, but it is in fact hurting your growth because you do not have any recovery time calculated in there. Over trying multiple types of combinations and different types of days of going in and times at the gym, what I have really realized is it is at best that you give 36 to 48 hours of recovery time between working out every muscle group that you've touched at the start of the week. This is because you're giving enough time for your body to repair the wear and tear that was caused the very first time that you worked out that muscle group during a particular week. Also, sleep is one of the most important factors here. Now, there is no set amount of time to sleep. This varies for everyone. Some people require 6 hours while others require 8 hours of sleep. For me, this number personally is 6.5 hours. So I always make sure that I'm getting a minimum of 6.5 hours of sleep every night. You become what you eat, and hence it is extremely important to feed your body the right kind of healthy proteins, carbs, and fats rather than the dirtier versions of these elements. Protein out of this is the most important aspect, particularly because when you work out, your muscles go through a slight rupture, and protein is the one that helps repair all of these muscles through a process called muscle protein synthesis. Now, if you want to maintain your weight, you gotta consume about 0.8 grams of proteins per pound of your body weight. So if you weigh about 150 pounds, then you gotta consume 120 grams of protein every day. Now, consuming an excessive amount more than this doesn't necessarily hurt you, but if you're bulking, then you gotta up this number to within a range of 1 to 1.6 grams per pound of body weight. If you want to grow and get bigger, you need to be in a calorie surplus. Now, when it comes to increasing your intake of calories, the ideal way to do it is to increase it by 8 to 10% every week. You certainly can increase it more than that and go into an excessive increase in terms of calories. However, one thing to note is that might lead to excessive storage of fats in your body, which are difficult to get rid of. Watch me gain 10 pounds in 40 days by applying everything that I spoke about. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time.